Good afternoon and welcome to PCA's first ever virtual education series and town hall that we have here. We've been used to hosting these in person, and we're so very glad that you guys have been able to join us, and we're so very glad for Leo and for Courtnie for being able to be flexible with their schedules to join us. We really wish we could have done this in person last week, but we're very, very happy that we can do this virtually. So I'm Scott Pierce, and I am the Executive Director of the Premium Cigar Association. And for the past 6-7 months or so, we've been hosting special events at our headquarters townhouse just right near the Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. And the purpose of it is really an education series for folks to get to know the premium cigar industry and really to get to know the people behind the industry much better and get to understand what we are all about as a premium cigar and pipe tobacco industry. And so we're so happy today to have these two wonderful people in the industry joining us to talk about their perspectives and their roles in the industry. And also with today's panel is going to be led by our very own Kristine Morgan, who is our Director of Associate Membership and Industry Relations. And Kristine has a very long history within the industry. She's worked in pretty much almost every capacity you could work in. But Kristine is very well versed within the premium cigar industry, knows all the ins and outs. And so I think today is going to be a great panel for us to learn more about both Courtnie and Leo's journey into this industry and what it's all about for them. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Kristine Morgan and last little bit. For all of you who are attendees, we do have it muted because there's a lot of folks and we don't want to kind of interruptions. But we will be taking questions, and so if you do have questions, if you look over to the right on the GoToWebinar control panel, you'll see a little box there for questions. You can click on that arrow, it'll expand down, and you can ask your question, and we will get to as many as we can if we have some time. So as we're going along, if you have questions, please feel free to ask them, and then we'll get to them. So on that note, Kristine, the time is yours.
Great, thank you, Scott. As he mentioned, my name is Kristine Morgan. I'm the Director of Associate Member and Industry Relations here at PCA. I've been with the PCA for 5 years. This will be my 6th trade show, actually, but I have been a cigar consumer for 16. And in that time frame, I have seen this industry just grow and evolve so much. And I could tell you about my first experience walking into a cigar store and, just how being a woman in the industry, how it is. It's like we are perceived differently. And it, by and large, throughout time, most people think about the cigar industry and they think of these great icons like Winston Churchill, George Burns, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tony Soprano, Jack Nicholson. But the truth is, women have been there from the very beginning, from seed to production, distribution, and now we have an opportunity to have a bigger seat at the table and make more of a splash and an impact, which I've seen really grow over the last 16 years since I first started smoking. Women have been a really huge driving force behind all that. And now we're very fortunate to have Leo and Courtnie here to share their perspective and their ideas for innovation. And these two women they really are making waves that impact the industry and help move it forward in ways so that we don't just survive, we thrive. So with that, Leo and Courtnie, I'd like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourselves a little bit in your business. So Leo, if you would like to go first and just share a little bit, I want to know, how did you get involved in the industry? Tell me about your first cigar. How long have you been with PCA?
Okay. My first cigar is so funny. It started with my passion with this industry. It started one day when my father visited me in New York City. And I just want to spend more time with my dad. My dad smokes cigars forever. I have 2 brothers, and I just say, I want to have something in common with daddy. And I said, you know what, Dad, just go to Club Macanudo to smoke cigar, my first cigar. And I really enjoy the time with my dad, share different stuff with my dad, never, ever I have a kind of quality time with daddy. From there, I just familiar with this industry. Okay. From there, I just be myself more involved. Before of the cigar industry, I'm working on the wine company, and it make me very easy the way to inform myself about the cigars, because the cigar have all the different process, exactly like the wine. 10 years ago, everything started with a share cigar with my dad. Simple like that.
Oh, I love it. And it really is. I mean, you're absolutely right. It really is such an experience too that, like you said, you had that experience with your father. It really just brings people together. We have such a rich culture and a rich history. Courtnie, will you tell us a little bit about your business, how you got involved in the cigar industry and your first cigar? Courtnie? I don't know if she can hear us. Courtnie, can you hear us?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just tell us a little bit about your background in the business, how you got in the cigar industry, the first cigar you smoked, anything share about you and your business.
So I started smoking cigars about 8 years ago. My husband, who is an Atlanta firefighter, career firefighter, almost 30 years, took me to Panama City and for spring break and introduced me to my first cigar. It was the Tabac Especial, the Cafe con Leche, still one of my favorites to this day. But he introduced me to the cigars. Excuse me, I don't know what, okay. But he introduced me to cigars. Then I fell in love with it, and that became our way to bond and communicate and relax after this horrible Atlanta traffic for hours to and from work. But it's something we've enjoyed and we've been doing together ever since then. So Smokehouse was initially his retirement dream 8 years ago. And so, of course, with him being full duty on the fire department, it was something that he elected. We talked about it. This was his dream. And so I told him I would, kind of take the ball and run with it. So I would start branding and building, Smokehouse and networking and learning the industry. So that's what I've been doing for the last several years. And of course, there's always time. I mean, there's so much to learn. You'll never learn it all. There's always new products and new people and all that kind of stuff. But it really has become a family experience for us. We've enjoyed being a part of the industry. The cigar industry is special and it's like none other. So we are, pleased to have a little piece of it here in Atlanta, but then to be a part of the bigger vision.
Yeah, and definitely that's part of the reason why I love the industry so much is just the sense of community and how it brings so many different people together. Like you said, Leo mentioned about the wine industry as well. Like there's a lot of crossovers that can happen, and especially being like wine, being a handmade product, like manufactured generally, and in small batches and things like that. There is a lot behind that, and I think most people would agree too that the general sense of community, it's not, there's always an occasion to smoke.
Exactly.
But like you're saying, waiting, after traffic or even in traffic, which is when I've done a lot of my cigar smoking. And I did back when I was blogging, I unfortunately did a lot of not unfortunately, but a lot of like videos reviewing cigars while I was driving. That was kind of my shtick, just to make it through, to get it through, to take a minute and woosah and relax with other people from all different places. And I know you guys see that a lot, Leo, as you travel for Nova Cigars, and Courtnie, as people come into your shop. It's everybody from all kinds of backgrounds, all different types of jobs. It really is a beautiful thing.
It is.
Now, first, I think one of the biggest things on everybody's mind, and Scott mentioned it earlier, is we were initially going to have this event in-house. However, with everything happening with the coronavirus, thankfully we were able to move it to a webinar. And, at PCA, we've really tried to bolster our digital outreach to give people resources, like creating a COVID-19 page with resources. And I was just curious how that has affected your guys' businesses currently and what you're doing to combat that. I've seen a lot of people doing some really creative things like virtual HERFs all the time, which I really think helps, you know, keep people's spirits up in the industry. But how has that affected you guys, and what are you doing to make sure that your businesses keep running? I mean, we are by and large relationships. We're face to face. So please share what I'd like to hear.
Okay, I personally, like when all these things start happening, I cancel like most of 12 different trips to different states, because one of the ways we working when we open accounts, we want to always be there for the owners, for the customer, for the friends, just to be there and explain each of our blends. Like the way for we make business is when different stores around the country open the door for us. We want to make sure be there to talk about our product. And when all these things happen, I feel like a little bit like, wow, I just want to keep support to everyone. Like me, Ari, like Ari is my brand president. We always be there to talk about the product, to give you support. When the first sales event, to talk with everyone, it's like, okay, now what we can do? Like besides we cancel all the trips around the country, now we want to keep giving support, like people like Courtnie, like we want to be there to give you support. In our Nova size, we open the door to people can buy directly from us in our website. That is to at least we take care of our customer, direct customer. In the size of the stores and cigar lounge carry our product, we open the door to keep talking with us, anything you guys need in the future, like when all these things pass. And that is where everybody wish this thing happen, just pass as soon as possible, and everybody be healthy again, and everybody can open the business, and everybody can sell cigars. Besides, we push not only we want to put Nova on the business, we want to put everybody on the business. Like it's not Nova, it's everyone. Everybody's affected about this coronavirus, and everybody needs help. Like the way for we want to just keep running our brand is open the doors to any of the stores, carry our product, start with our product because nobody can go to buy the product. We can keep talking with all of them and just make a solution together to everybody can make a little bit money and at least can take care of employees, take care of families. That is the way for we want to try to just move forward. Nova just gonna be keep there for everyone. Like now, when everything is passed, somebody needs any particular event, somebody start with product, hand on sale, we're gonna find the way to everybody can make money. Like that is us. We don't wanna just like
I think from a retailer perspective, we have, you know, we don't have money coming in, we can't spend money either. So we've been trying to, a little bit at a time, spend money and keep our manufacturer partners, you know, in business or contribute a little bit. You know, every little bit helps. So, you know, in the last couple times a week, we try to order a little bit from everybody. And because we are a real community and we really are a family, whether we know each other personally or not, you know, we all try to take care of each other. So, you know, EP Carrillo is one that, you know, they've offered us, you know, free shipping and discounts. And we Caldwell, you know, Robert Caldwell and his team, they're great. They've been offering us some deals, but, you know, my career is actually with the CDC. I'm here in Atlanta, so I'm on the public health side of it, as well as the retailer side of it as well. So, you know, anytime I can get information that's pertinent, I will try to dispense that to my community and my people, because you know, there's so many conflicting reports in the news and the media, and you get stuff from, you know, the White House down. So it's just it's frustrating. It's a mess. People are scared. So I try to use my knowledge to share. but to also, keeping my customers calm too. I mean, we need them to come in the doors.
Right.
Many may not know, Georgia put on a shelter in place along with a lot of other states yesterday. So this is our last day of retail here in Georgia. So to close our doors is despite, not having to pay certain bills and things that they're doing for us, with our creditors and things, to close our doors to our community hurts, so we're trying to do what we can. In Georgia, we don't have the luxury of being able to do mobile sales because we can't do that in Georgia. So, just trying to open for a few hours, in the course of the shelter in places, and allowing people to come in and grab and go and that kind of thing has been just some ways that we can sustain. Our membership base, though, is amazing here at Smokehouse. So, allowing them to come in and spread the word, word of mouth. That's it. And we're in a great community here in Kirkwood, Atlanta. So, we just try to open the door every day and let them know we're here. And we get some, we met some great new customers and consumers, but this is really, this is hard. This is affecting the world. And so to have a pandemic like this where people don't understand is just, it's tough. So, but the cigar community is special because everybody's trying to help each other in whatever little way we can, and that matters.
Yeah, information and continuing to engage. I think you're in a unique position with your job where you can assist in that as well. So that's fantastic.
Exactly.
Now, the two of you, being women in the industry, can you share in as much or as little detail as you like some of the issues that you've experienced? I know me personally, initially I'd go buy cigars and I was younger. So everybody would ask me if I was shopping for my dad or my uncle or boyfriend, whoever. And if I said me, they'd automatically try to give me flavored cigars, which I will smoke on occasion, but by and large, don't. Now, trying to get a job in the industry, I fell in love with the industry very early into being a consumer and wanted a job. And that was at a point where there weren't a lot of female sales reps or area sales managers. So I kind of had to, knowing that I wanted to do this, create my own way. And that's essentially how I wound up here. Thankfully, PCA, saw I could do something and, gave me a fantastic opportunity outside of working, in a lounge or being an area sales manager. So share what are some of the issues you guys have had, some of the hurdles you've had to jump over being a woman in the industry.
Okay. I'm working in industry for 10 years.
I think for me,
places like Club Macanudo, Nat Sherman, Casa de Monte Cristo, always around men. If we compare this particular industry with the rest of the industry on the world, I think the tobacco industry opened the door so easy for a woman because it's a family business. If you have the feel in Dominican and Ecuador and Nicaragua, it's family business. This means woman's going to be around. Woman is going to help. And I believe this particular industry, it's easy. It's open the door from the day one for women. I never feeling like discriminator, never ever. I just try to put my feet down with my different perspective because, of course, women think different. And you have to put your opinion on the table. And I believe when you start put the opinion on the table and you say, I'm here and I'm think different, and somebody start listening to you, you're good. You're good. This means people want to listen different opinions. People want to listen different stories. And personally, I love this industry. And I never, ever have this kind of discrimination in this particular industry. I feel like home.
I think for me, I think early on I was challenged just a little bit, not often though. I mean, the brothers of the leaf and the men in the industry have also been welcoming, but early on, I had some men challenge me. I had the same issue that you did, Kristine, like when I would go into a lounge and they would send me to flavor, like I don't even smoke flavor cigars, or did initially, but I had great educators in the industry, in my brothers. And so I developed my palate slowly, but the right way over the course of probably a good year and a half, 2 years. And so, I mean, I stopped after that very first tobacco. I think I moved on like a few months after that. So when I would go into a lounge and they would take me right to the infused, I'm like, I don't smoke that. That's not it, I don't know but women, just are going to smoke flavored is ludicrous.
And the funny part, because we are women, especially if you're working inside of the humidor, it's easy because woman gonna come to you work for recommendation for him thinking he's gonna feel more comfort. Right. And then men's inside of the humidor gonna listen and say, oh, she really knows about cigar.
Right. Yep, exactly.
But it's funny. I take everything in the funny way because sometimes, and I believe happened with you, Courtnie, people make jokes. And you know what? If you are like, okay, joke is a joke, it's fine, just keep going. It's funny. It's funny. Be a woman working inside of the humidor or outside, in my position, in your position, Courtnie, in your position, Kristine, it's funny because you find a different way to the people can talk with women when we come with a cigar product.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When we got the knowledge and I love it.
I got surprised, like, oh, you know. Yes, I know.
I know.
Well, and that's, like you said, there's women all over the industry. I mean, any company at any level, there's women all over the place, but we don't yet have those icons. Yeah. As much as we do, like Winston Churchill, Jack Nicholson, who's behind me. I'm sure his picture's cut off, but it's just really interesting. So with that note, just bringing up the production side, how hard was it, Leo, to bring a new cigar to market? Share with us a little bit about your experience. I mean, because it is, it's just as much art as it is science. So please explain your process.
It's my phone.
Oh, no.
It's my another phone. I'm sorry. I just forgot to down.
No, you're fine. Yeah, explain about how hard it was to bring new.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
Now we're good.
Okay, good. Tell us a little bit about the process to bring a new cigar to market with your Nova blends and the production there.
Okay, bring a new cigar line in the market. It's tough because you bring something new and it's many good cigar brands outside already. And then with a new cigar brand, I think the first thing you have to be honest if you believe in the product, you believe what you have, okay? And that is going to make the difference from the day one. Because when the people think it's another cigar, no, it's my cigar, it's different cigar. Because we make that cigar with all our love and our passion, and we want to just make a little bit different. When the people say, oh, your cigar is the best cigar now, no. My cigar is the one I love it and I'm enjoying. But it's a good cigar brand outside. I open the door for people to try something else because everybody want to try something new sometime. I just give you the opportunity to try something good, new on the table. It's hard, but again, if you believe you have a good product and you know what you're doing and you do it good, you're going to be successful because you believe in your cigars. You believe in your people. Not only the people in this side and the people in Dominican Republic, you believe in everybody. And it's easy because when you talk about your new line, you talk about all the people behind that cigar.
Exactly.
And a little bit. It's a way for we present our brand.
Yeah. Where's your tobacco from, Leo? Leo, where's your tobacco from?
Oh, my tobacco is from Dominican Republic. But we made the cigar in Dominican Republic, but we use tobacco around the world. Our cigars is blend with Nicaragua, Honduras, Costa Rica, San Andres from Mexico. The particular with our cigars is we make one blend, one size. Like everybody have the same blend, Robusto, Toro, Torpedo. If we have Torpedo, San Andres, it's only one San Andres Torpedo. That's it. We're not going to bring the same blend to different sizes. And for that reason, when we come with 17 blend, the people say, you guys are crazy. No. Okay, maybe, yeah, we are a little bit crazy, but we believe what we have, and we have a very good tobacco, and we want to just put in different sizes so everybody can try different kind of blends we make. Yeah.
You craft that experience based around that.
Yes.
It's art and science.
It's a different way to think.
Yeah. So with that, what is your favorite blend? I do love a good San Andreas.
My favorite blend is my personal, like I make one cigar I call Leo X. Leo X because Leo and X for the 10 year I'm working on this particular industry. When the people say, what blend is that one? Dominican Habano 2000 wrapper. But the most unique in that cigar, I put all my passion. I put all my hard work for the last 10 years. And every box comes with a letter. I just write because I just wanted the people to understand. Sometimes no, most of the time, every time, the cigar is made by tobacco. But the difference is the passion, the love, the time you put in make that particular cigar. Yeah. And
absolutely,
that is my cigar. That is the first time I just pick what I want to somebody make that perfect cigar for me. I pick exactly the blends, and his passion is like something I'm carrying for the last 10 years working hard, and next thing you know, I have my cigar. That is, but I love all cigars, okay? That is my baby.
And that's, you know, another great thing, like no cigar is just a cigar, because there's so much that goes into it. I mean, different types of tobacco from different years with different vintages. Like you can get, you know, tobacco from the same ground 1 year and from the same ground 2 years later, and it's going to be a different experience because, you know, all these different weather conditions and rain conditions, and you can even you can't blend the exact same cigar over and over, you know, because of this. So that's what makes it very special. You know, also the effort that everybody puts into it to create the right blend. It's incredible to me. That's another reason. I mean, it is just the effort, and like you keep saying, Leo, the passion that goes behind it, the story as to why somebody picked that tobacco, you know, things like that. Could pick tobacco from anniversary years or things like that. It's amazing.
Everything you do it with passion and love, and you believe what you're doing, and I believe Courtnie thinks exactly like me. It's going to come in a good way.
Absolutely.
You have to believe what you're doing, and if you enjoy, it's the best. It's the best part.
Oh, absolutely. And I, you know, keep learning. You know, that's a big part of the process too. Like you said earlier, Courtnie, like you can learn for years and years and never know it all, because there's always more. Everything changes, which is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Now, Leo, what was the motivation for the Nova name? How did you come up with Nova?
Okay, Nova, if you Google, is very small, unique star in the universe. It's very small, but it have a beautiful bright. It's like we are a small company, we are babies, but we have too much pride.
Yes.
Nova is a star. It's new. It's something like powerful, but it's small. And we are Nova.
I love that.
And it's good to know her. It's good to know the background behind it, because to be this close, even though we're far away with Leo, but as a retailer, I have a different respect for the brand, because we know there are thousands of cigars out there. But when we can connect, and especially with our boutique and small batch brands, we can have these relationships. When we understand their story, it makes it much easier for me to sell the cigar in the store, because I can talk her passion when I know it, along with my passion for our business and my love of the leaf. So understanding those little things makes a difference.
It really, really does. I believe that wholeheartedly. You know, when you can connect yourself and your customers and consumers to that, it really just adds to the experience. So it's a complete sensory experience anyway. So when you can attach a story or a memory to it as well. And I think, you know, a lot of times people, I should speak for myself, I won't necessarily remember what I smoked, but I will remember who I smoked it with and why I smoked it because of that story behind it. And when you have a story like Leo's, you're more apt to remember that particular cigar on that occasion.
Exactly. And a lot of times, you know, we aren't the same, but we have the same story. We have some of the same dynamics. And that is what brings us together, which is another special part of the cigar culture in the community. You know, the fact that, you know, we can share those same things. You know, we can share the passion and the love for it and the struggle behind it and the hard work. And, you know, people see the end result and think that all of this is easy or that, you know, we get to enjoy it, but it's not. You know, there's always, you know, naysayers and people who don't believe and people who don't understand what you put into it. But when you put literally blood, sweat, and tears into it, it's a whole different story.
Well, and you can go to a coffee shop and get the same exact cup of coffee as somebody else there and not be able to connect. But when you're in a cigar lounge and you sit down, you know, I see it time and time again. People are like, "What are you smoking?" Even if you're not smoking the same cigar, right? Then we're cigar smokers and we're taking time, and you know, it really opens all that up.
Exactly.
That experience. Now, with that cigar experience, so what do you think is more important, like in a cigar? Do you think it's flavor, burn, the wrapper? How much does the appearance of a cigar affect your experience, or whether or not you're going to smoke it?
So
what is more important?
I'm going to say it's flavor and burn. It's got to have a great profile so that I remember it, like you said, because I don't care what the label says or who makes it. If it doesn't taste good and it doesn't remind me, if it's not good on my palate, I'll never go back to it again. It ruins my experience. So great flavor and great burn. I love it.
And we take care of that part. And we take care of that part. For us, the most important is quality control.
Exactly.
If we have a good quality control, you're gonna receive exactly what you're looking for.
Exactly. Because those are the things, as a tobacconist, those are the things that I talk to my my consumers. And here at Smokehouse, we do quite a bit of education because we're in a community where we have, you know, from novice to, you know, very seasoned connoisseur. And we all know that sometimes even connoisseurs don't really understand what they're smoking. So, you know, teaching them, you know, not just about the leaf and the binders, but the different origins from the cigars and different, you know, it matters in how a cigar is going to smoke, the flavors and the profiles you're going to get, the soil, you know, how you know, the parts of the leaf, you know, all of that matters. And I get excited. People come in all the time, like when I start talking about it, like it's a whole thing, because I get excited about it. It's my passion. It's not just our business, but I enjoy this. I enjoy the family and the community that comes with it. So it is my responsibility as a retailer and a tobacconist to make sure that anyone that comes in and buys has the same great experience and they understand what they're smoking. So definitely construction of a cigar, burn, flavor, all of those are the most important for me.
What about you, Leo? What about you, Leo? Anything else? I know Courtnie covered it.
Thank you, Courtnie.
Got it all.
Like people like Courtnie, this mean we good because people gonna represent our cigars talking like that.
Yes.
We good. We only have to keep focused in quality control from the day one and never go like all the time go like that. Never just say, you know what, we're gonna pass that one. No.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Very good. Now, do either of you, so Leo, do you make cigars that are targeted specifically for women? And Courtnie, do you have events in your shop that are specifically for women?
Okay, I'm going to answer that one first. It's funny because we only have one Connecticut wrapper in our line. And I just going to give you a little bit story. When I've been in the Dominican Republic and I tried the Connecticut, I said, oh my God, it's great, but have this aftertaste, like a little bit hearty. The Connecticut have hearty. And see, this is going to be my light cigar on the line. I have to make a move. My move is put a sugar tip. I got it in Nova Robusto, the batch collection.
Okay.
That particular cigar I made thinking about woman is gonna love it. But by my surprise, men's love it too.
Yes.
Because it's very smooth, creamy with that sugar tip. It's a great cigar from the morning, or maybe when you finish a meal and you want on side you're drinking something or take a cake, you can smoke a nice smooth cigar with a sugar tip. In the beginning, I just think about it, focus in a particular cigar for a woman. But in this point, everybody, women, men, everybody enjoy a cigar. And then I believe that is going to be a good cigar for beginners. Like when you start smoking cigar and you want something smooth and creamy, that is a perfect cigar.
Yeah.
I just pass the idea with the woman, but don't work like that way.
And we do have some, well, actually we do one particular event, and we try to do it every month, a lady smoke, where, well, I take that back, because actually we have a couple now. I started in March, and it's not really just for women, but it's Cigar Etiquette 101. We do it once a month, and I wanted to have women, but as well as men, because again, like I said, in our community, we have a lot of novice smokers that come in. So we do cigar etiquette once a month, where we teach, pairing and the blends and how to choose your own cigar and things like that. And as a woman, I'm a huge proponent for every woman always having her own tools. You know how to cut and light your own cigar. After your initial time in a cigar lounge or retail place, like after that, you don't let people do it for you. You have your own tools, you have your own case, all those things, because that is really important to me. That's just, women are independent by nature.
Right.
So those are things that we teach in the cigar etiquette class. And then we do have a lady smoke event once a month. Where we just have, great sisters of the leaf, come in and sit and smoke and just have a good time. And we drink wine, or we have some that drink whiskey. My sister of the Rolling Leaf, she's a whiskey, bourbon, tequila person.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, but we just, where we can come together and, and share experiences and smoke great cigars and, all that kind of stuff. So this is what we do at Smokehouse. And I try to do the lady smoke is probably of our events that we do, and we don't do a lot of them here because we really want to stay focused, not on the party of the culture and that thing, but of authentically loving cigars and understanding what you smoke. But outside of our first responder appreciation that we do every year, the lady smoke is the most important to myself and to Chief, because we really appreciate the women. They bring a different perspective and je ne sais quoi and sophistication to cigars that you just won't find anywhere else, other than maybe in the wine industry and some of those other places. But it's special when you can get like-minded women who are intelligent and have great conversation together. We do a little shopping sometimes. We have some vendors come out and bring clothes, so we shop and we drink, wine and things, and we smoke cigars.
Yeah, I love it. Right? And I love the educational piece there. That is definitely important all across the board. I know we plan on doing some things like that here in the future. So, but I always, as women, I'm sure you, Courtney, and Leo have had several, on occasion, people offer to cut your cigar, and I would always be like, let me see how you cut yours first.
No, right. And I'd be like, off your whole cap, you don't know what you're doing.
Right. Let me see how you cut yours first. No, I'm good. Thank you. Now, along that line, education is important. And with that also comes not just education about the products and about the accessories, but what is going on with the industry as a whole. Mm-hmm. So how, Courtney, I know you're really involved in supporting your state associations and everything. So what is the importance of the consumers, retailers, area sales managers there too, in getting involved in that, and how can they get more involved? What do they need to do to be part of that circle to help us save our industry?
So, we're fighting nationally, but we're also fighting from a state. Each, state has their own legislation and issues and things that we fight. So, for the Georgia State Premium Cigar Association, we have been really diligent, and it's a slow process, bringing people in and getting people involved. But the sales reps by far, sales reps, manufacturers are by far some of our most vital assets in growing our membership and getting the word out. Because of course, a lot of us deal with some of the same sales rep, but then, based on the way your shop is structured, you may carry different things. So like for us, we're a smaller shop. We don't have a walk-in humidor. So we're limited to the facings and things that we can bring in. And we choose to, of course, deal with a lot of the smaller, the boutique companies, small batch, because we can just grow in different ways together. But having the sales reps and even our consumers, because here I think it's important for us for our membership base here at Smokehouse to know what the Georgia Premium Cigar Association is and PCA, but because it affects how they spend their dollars. It affects how we price our cigars, how we cover overhead and those kind of things, which all affects your membership and how we run the business. So consumers are important. Our sales reps and manufacturers are really important. We've had some great ones come on, but they can always reach out to us on our website at GAPremiumCigars.com. Our email is the same, GAPremiumCigars@gmail. And then, let me tell you, I'm an email blast. And so it's about time actually for me to send another blast of emails before we get to trade show. Prayers that it all works out and we can all travel in July. But it's very important. We want to bring on as many manufacturers and reps as possible. Calibri joined us. We have our few flagship shops here, myself, Life and Times in Atlanta, the Patio. I think we've got a few other Old Havana cigars. So it's just, it's important. When I first went to trade show, this is just our third year as a part of PCA. Okay. And the first year I went, I had signed up for the state association, the breakout sessions. And so I signed up for it, but didn't realize to that Sunday, like, oh, wait, there's not one for Georgia. And so I got back to the room and I was like, babe, there's not one for Georgia. We have the most retail tobacco establishments in the whole United States. And so for us to be this big and have these many retailers, but we don't have an association, that could put some of us out of business if we don't try to save ourselves. And what I do, my fight initially was for Smokehouse, but I realized, whether people join or not, it's important that we have some representation. We have some great, my board members are really great, and they, are in it with me, but, with the way the FDA is, doing with a lot of the cigars now and taxes and the excise tax, and, in Georgia, we're not as high as others. We're just at 23%, but that's high. It affects, how much we have to price our cigars and, how much we have to sell and how we purchase as a retailer. And even prior to the COVID pandemic, it's tight, it's tight. So the Premium Cigar Association, I would like for us to be able to go into trade show this year with some great new members. I'll keep emailing and chipping away as much as I can, but definitely our sales reps, the ones that know about us and, that I communicate with, they will share as much as they, as much as they can. So I try to keep information open. We're transparent on the website. I share, news from PCA and vice versa. And even on Instagram and Facebook, we're Georgia Premium Cigars. So, social media, we have to use the free marketing tools and, we just pound at it. So I'm managing the Premium Cigar Association, Smokehouse, my personal life, all of the social media. And it's exhausting, but I don't want to relax on the, with people, and I don't want to stop fighting because we need great, all the retailers, but we need great people, a part of us to help us get to Congress and lobby. And when they're back in session, we've got a couple of one particular bill that we like to try to get back on the floor, which is the mobile sales in Georgia, because in a time like now, that would help a lot of us be able to stay in business if we could deliver to consumers and things like that. So just staying diligent, just staying diligent. The state associations are vital, and even to help in PCA, you know what I'm saying? Because we can cover a lot of legwork, prior to you all sending our state reps, here. So if we can do our part, and then you all do what you do there, by the time we come together, we've got a foundation.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point about particularly the consumers and the manufacturers with the sales reps that travel constantly, because that's how a lot of this information is getting out. People sitting around talking in cigar shops, like information and education, are the biggest piece of fighting this, fighting the FDA and, and local governments and everything that's going on with taxes and age restrictions and things like that. And I feel like a lot of, I think you're really leading the charge in that aspect, Courtnie, is as far as getting that information out there and getting involved. So thank you for your effort there. I look forward to continuing to work on that between the association and us.
Absolutely.
Now, fun question here for you guys. If you could smoke with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why? I guess it doesn't even have to be a cigar smoker.
I can say one. I can say I would like his death. His birthday is 2 weeks ago. Avo.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because he's a very simple man working with passion.
Yes.
And I love the story behind him. And I never have the opportunity to share a cigar with him. And it's one of the things is in one point, somebody asked me that particular question, I'm going to say Avo. Because for one way, I just feeling like we have a lot of things in common. We do the thing with love, with passion, we have fun.
Yeah.
It's different. Sometimes it's not everything about money. It's a way for doing business. And he do it with love. Yeah, he's one of the person. Yeah.
I think for me, I'm going to stay kind of in line with Leo. So it would be Jose Padron for me.
Yeah.
I love Jose's story. I like his history, the history behind his brand. And, even when I first watched, we all, a lot of people are labels and they know major labels and things like that. They know names. And so, I've smoked Padron and I like Padron, and I can tell you all the blends, or I like the one I like. But I think after the hand rolled video, it's been almost 2 years now since that came out. After that, and watching Jose, and I know that was the last production he did right before he passed, I think it was just, you just feel a connection to all of them in there, if you're an actual lover of the leaf and watching the movie. But I think I would have liked to, I could sit and listen to Jose Padron and smoke and drink a little bit all day long.
Yeah.
I love to hear him talk. And so to listen to him and just hear some of those stories, I mean, you can't buy that history anywhere. So he would be my dream smoke with.
No, I love it. And I think that, your guys' response to that really helps us circle back just to the spirit of the industry and why we're here, is because of that passion. And Leo, you said it yourself, it's not always about the money. It is about the experience and the community and the connection that you have with a total stranger for an hour and a half. When you're smoking a cigar, they're a stranger at first and then they're a friend, by the end.
Yes.
Yeah, it's again, if you start with something and only think about the money, you know what, you have to put something else. And the extra spicy, the extra low is you, is how far you want to go. And believe what you want to do, believe in your product, believe what you want to do in your life, believe in your lounge, believe in your customer, believe that is the way you're really gonna run in business. The money is going to come. It's okay. It's going to come. Sometimes we're going to be up. Sometimes, like now, we're going to be a little bit down.
Yeah.
But money is going to come back. But the most important, if you focus and you personally never change the way for you want to handle that particular business, you're going to be good.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Passion, integrity, and craft.
Yes.
That is our story.
Absolutely.
In a nutshell. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. I know, we could talk about all of this for hours and hours on end. But tell everybody how to get a hold of you, web address, on social media. How can people reach out and learn more about your efforts in the state issues, Courtnie and Leo, for your cigars? How can people find you?
So we are, of course, we're in the city of Atlanta. So I invite everyone, whenever you come to Atlanta, those who are not here in the city with us, visit us right here. We're in Atlanta proper. We're on Instagram at Smokehouse Cigars, Facebook. You can like our Facebook page, Smokehouse Cigars. Our website is smokehouseCigarsofGeorgia.com, smokehouseCigarsofGA.com. The state association website is GAPremiumCigars.com. And then again, we're on IG and Facebook for the state association, GA Premium Cigars, all the same information. So reach out to us. We welcome any of our Georgia retailers who were able to join us for the webinar today. If you're not a part of it, so you hadn't gotten information or you missed emails, please reach out to me directly. You can find me on Instagram. You shoot me a direct message or email or anything, but definitely reach out to my all the sales reps and PTA. If you ever get any inquiries, we're here. We'd love to have you. We do offer the opportunity for our sales reps, manufacturers, to become associate members of our board. So they don't get a vote, but to be a part of it, and we keep them in the loop of what's going on here, because of course it affects them also. So GA Premium Cigars at gmail.com, SmokehouseCigarsofGA.com. We're here, and I can't wait to see everybody at trade show. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. The big family reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, in our part about the social media, we are all the time just on the top of any comments about an Instagram or Facebook, because we want to just listen the good and the bad feedback, because it's a way for we keep improve ourselves. Exactly. Our webpage is novacigar.com, Instagram Nova Cigar. Simple and easy.
Yes.
Like when people try your cigar, when somebody give you a cigar and you try the cigar and you want to just ask any question, like anything, you can call us right away, because that is the phone is ringing right now.
Right.
You can email us, you can DM us in Instagram, and believe me, we are on the top of all the questions, and we want to keep that interaction with all the consumer, friends, and family.
Yes, great. Now, before we close, any questions? Oh. Do we have any questions, Scott? Sorry.
Yeah, we sure do. We've got quite a few coming in, so we'll pick a couple here that have come in. For both of you in your respective areas, Leo from a manufacturing standpoint, Courtnie from a retailer perspective, where do you see women going in the industry in relation to ownership and major decision making? So Courtnie, if you want to offer that perspective in terms of ownership and retail, and Leo, if you could offer that perspective in terms of manufacturers, that'd be great.
Okay. Women take a lot of space already in this particular industry. We see many women coming from family business in the cigar industry, and we see women like me. I'm not coming from the family industry for the fields, but I coming with a passion again, and slowly but slowly more women take a space in this industry, because women enjoy cigars. We love smoke. Like no, we smoke like everyone else. We smoke to enjoy, to relax, to just have our space, our moment. Slowly but slowly, I believe more women are going to be around us, running different positions, different. In the case of Courtnie running his own cigar lounge. In my position, CEO of the Nova Cigar. It's going to be more open door for women. I believe women see us in this moment.
Yes,
If she can do it, I can do it.
exactly.
It's okay with me. If you think like that, I love it. Because if you think you can do it, just call me. Believe me, I'm going to help you and you're going to do it.
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree. I believe in paying it forward. In regards to knowledge, I never mind sharing knowledge with women who really want to know and understand and learn. And I see, I mean, and I know you all see it. We have many female retailers across the country. I mean, across the United States now. So not just from the manufacturing standpoint, but from the retail aspect. And I think it's going to continue to grow because women are solidly planted in this industry now. So even if they're not owning retail shops or anything, they're going to be embedded in the actual fabric of lounges and retail stores, whether it be in the humidor or be in operations. Having a female perspective makes a huge difference in the type of experience you're going to have in a lounge or in a retail shop. I just personally believe that because we bring some different ideas and perspectives and things to the forefront, and it's not just about decoration or how it's decorated. It's like I said, I mean, there are more a growing number of female tobacconists and women who really honestly can tell you about the construction of a cigar, why you should smoke it, what you can and can't smoke, how it sits on your palate. And I think that education that you get from women who are becoming more involved is going to be invaluable.
Absolutely.
Kind of in a similar facet what you guys just talked about there, a question in terms of women and as consumers, and what are some of the, I won't call them objections, but and then there's a couple of questions here that kind of hint around this, but when you're faced with women who don't necessarily consider cigar smoking to be something that they would like to do, or there's sort of objections to it, what are some of the ways in which you approach for a first-time cigar smoker? This could be male or female, but because we're really kind of focused here more, I mean, women represent a fantastic opportunity to grow the consumer base. Just by and large, the majority of cigar smokers are men. What are some of the ways in which you try to bring in that first-time cigar smoker, particularly from a female perspective, and how you look to create that first experience for them in ways in which you're trying to, what you were talking about earlier, women smoke cigars, they relax with it, they do it the same way in very similar context to men. Because it is a very social thing and women tend to be more social than men in a lot of regards, I was just kind of wondering how all of that fits together with you and your approaches to be able to grow this amongst that consumer category.
I think for me, from a retailer perspective, like when I talked a little bit earlier about our events, the cigar etiquette class, then that's not something that, I mean, everybody can't always, get to a Saturday class or whatever. So, I mean, but as a tobacconist, and it's on our site, we always have a tobacconist on duty because I'm always here. So anytime a woman crosses the threshold of Smokehouse, or I encounter her out in public somewhere, she is not really sure, she doesn't like the smell, or there are some women who have some different opinions about it, or assume that it was just for men, or that women didn't smoke because they just don't know. So I always talk about the beginning of my journey, but then I'm always educating. So if they come into Smokehouse, having the opportunity to catch them and explain about it, and I think women are more open to to getting excited about your passion. So if they see Leo talking about her cigars and they see her, she's beautiful and, you know, she's smiling all the time and she gets, you know, when she talks about her blends and those, that I think is more attractive for women who don't know to be involved and ask questions and to learn. So that's how we kind of capture it. And I'm the same way. When people come in and I get to talking about it, I have to remind myself that they may not understand everything that I'm talking about. But I think when women, you know, anytime I have the opportunity to encounter women who don't really smoke, when they see my excitement and I get to share little things, you know, about the industry and smoking cigars, then I can pull them in. Once I get them in, it's easy.
They don't ever want to leave.
They don't want to leave.
In my case, Scott, when I'm working on the retail, I'm working many years on the retails too. It's funny when the people come to the humidor and can never smoke before and can ask me, what do you recommend for me? I say, hold on, what you like to drink? I say, why you ask me? I say, you like to drink wine? Yeah, I like to drink wine. You like red? You like white? You like rosé? And then I have idea the paladar he really enjoy what kind of type of wine, and it's going to be easy for me to recommend a cigar. Exactly the same. Ah, no, I'm not drinking. You're drinking coffee, yeah? What kind of type of coffee you like? Strong,
Yes.
espresso, latte. And then from there, I have idea what is the kind of things the paladar like, his personal paladar. And from there, I just move it forward and just recommend cigars. I do good in that part because I love listen before I recommend, and it's working so far with women and men. I just try all the time to don't put my knowledge because sometimes the people feel like, oh my God, I don't know the way to smoke. No, just relax. We're gonna do this thing together. We're gonna learn it together.
Right.
I have to learn something about you. You're gonna learn about something about me.
Exactly.
And that is the way I personally recommend cigars most of the time. It's funny for when we are in the PCA, IPCPR last year, people come to our booth and they say, I want to try your cigar. And the people say, okay, what kind of type of cigar? No, I just want to try your cigar. No, I just want to make sure give you the correct cigar you really can enjoy. I don't want you say you don't like my cigar because I give you the wrong one, the wrong way. And take me more time of the IPCPR, forget it. My booth is full of people, but because I just put that personal touch with all our customers, retailers, I want to just all the time give you the correct cigar because we sell experience. Like we sell moments. People going to remember that particular day. And that is the way we do it. Recommend cigars to everyone.
It's a good way to do it. I used to ask if they could build their own pizza, what would they put on it? And then what would they drink with it?
Good.
just for fun. Just for fun. They'd go, what?
Yeah, what?
Great. Well, I think we could probably go on for another 2 hours. This has been great, but thank you all for your time. We can just turn over to Kristine to wrap it up. We did get some comments here about how much people enjoyed this webinar. You ladies rock was another comment that's out there. So thank you both very much for joining us, and thank you, Kristine, for leading this. So I'll let Kristine wrap it up, and just wanted to pass along my thank you very much for doing this. This has been terrific.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining and watching, and of course, thank you, Leo and Courtnie, for being a part of this, and just sharing all your thoughts and ideas as it pertains to the industry, the passion that we all share for this industry. Hopefully we can do this again soon, continue this series in the very near future. And in the meantime, you know, to Courtnie's point, like, get involved. Go to cigaraction.org and get involved there. Pay attention to our premiumcigars.org page for updates on coronavirus. We do have a lot of resources there available for as many people in the business as possible. So do take a look at that. And we're talking, you know, consumer resources, retailer resources, as well as manufacturer resources. So please be sure to check that out when you can. We do have a couple other events coming up tomorrow. We start some Friday chats, and we're going to have Steve Zingle from Los Caidos on our Facebook Live, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Scott. So we're going to continue that. Next Friday, we have Glenn Loop will be joining us as well, and we are going to very soon have a webinar to help everybody sort through all the coronavirus COVID-19 resources that we have. So I do believe we're going to schedule that sometime next week, so pay attention to your email for some more information about that. And with that, again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Courtney. It has been so great to see you, and look forward to hopefully seeing you in a couple months.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.